Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Scott Sports 101. I'm Scott Trella. We're going to talk some Browns, and we do have a special tribute because as you know, we lost Jim Brown. Special tribute to him that's coming up, and we're going to talk NBA playoffs. We got guys. We'll get to all that, but first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. Uh, and there's a Major League Baseball trivia question. Who is the only Hall of Fame pitcher to defeat all 30 current MLB clubs? I will have the answer later in the podcast. Um, uh, just uh, days after winning the Super Bowl, Los Angeles Rams general manager Les Snead showed up to the victory parade wearing a shirt that says, the shirt with the words F them picks. And the Cleveland Browns have yet to win a Super Bowl, but general manager Andrew Berry seems to be embracing Snead's mantra. And a couple of weeks ago, on Friday, May 11th, Cleveland made still another significant trade. The Browns landed three-time Pro Bowl pass rusher Za'Darius Smith from the Vikings, uh, uh, and the Browns from the Minnesota Vikings, and the Browns surrendered a pair of fifth-round picks in 2024 and 2025 in the deal. Though they did get back a 2025 sixth round selection and a 2025 seventh rounder. As a result, Cleveland has only three picks left in its own second and third, and Carolina's fifth from the Baker Mayfield trade. Uh, though the first five rounds of next year's draft, the Browns also just completed back-to-back drafts in 2022 and 2023 this year without a pick in either of the first two rounds. Then again, Cleveland's aim is no longer stockpiling picks. The Browns are trying to win now, with most of their star players entering or already in their prime seasons. The window to contend, has arrived. And with every opportunity, the Browns are pushing more chips into that center of the pack to make a championship run. Friday's trade underscored just that. Smith, who will soon turn 31, battled a chronic knee injury last year. Though he would finish with 10 sacks, but 1.5 of those came during the first 7 weeks. The first 7 weeks of the season. This trade comes with a risk for the Browns, but given that Berry had to give up only a pair of fifth rounders and got a pair of day 3 picks in return, it's a risk well worth the gamble, even if it is a short-term move. Smith is one of only 5 pass rushers in 3 of the past 4 seasons, according to ESPN stats, information research. Myles Garrett is one of the others. Next season, Smith and Garrett will have the benefit of playing off one another. Garrett faced the highest double team rate 31% of 7 of any edge defender in the league last year. Yet Smith had the fourth highest double team rate, 27 of 9%, 0.9%, excuse me. Is Smith is as well as free agent signee Ogbonna uh, Okronau, who had the eighth highest double rate at 22.6% last year in Houston, can take advantage of one-on-one blocking. Cleveland's pass rush figures to be formidable. The rest of the team should be as well, thanks in part to all of the draft picks the Browns have sent out in trades for proven players the past two off seasons. It began with the Watson trade last March, which cost the Browns 3 first-rounders plus multiple other picks. And it continued Friday with the addition of another star player in Smith. Like it has for the Rams, the bill featuring a confluence of several expensive veteran contracts and a few blue chip deals, could eventually catch up with the Browns as well. The Rams, however, won their Super Bowl before they had to retool their roster. The Browns now have a roster ready to make their own Super Bowl run. The Browns' schedule for the 2023 season was released a couple of weeks ago. On May 11th, the Browns open up the season at home against the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday, September 10th at 1 p.m. And the Browns will close the season against the Bengals in Week 18. And that date is to be determined, and it'll be in January. Now, the bye week comes early this year, and it will happen in Week 5. So we will have to see if that will work to the Browns' advantage. Uh, and And the Browns wrapped up OTAs yesterday in Berea, and Browns mandatory minicamp runs from June 6th through June 8th. And we're going to talk a little about the NBA playoffs. The Denver Nuggets are in the NBA Finals for their first time in their franchise history as they swept LeBron James and the LA Lakers Monday night. Boston forced the Game 6 by beating the Miami Heat last night. Actually, Tuesday night, excuse me. And so they will play Game 6 tomorrow. And we'll see. And once again, the Celtics are in a must-win situation. So we will have to see what happens. The Cleveland Guardians to finally snap their losing skid as they beat the St. Louis Cardinals 4-3 tonight at Progressive Field. Shane Bieber was on the hill uh, for the good guys tonight. He went 6.2 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 earned runs, had 4 decent batters, struck out 2 batters. Then the bullpen came in and did pretty well. And Emmanuel Clase came on in the ninth and got the save for the Guardians. As the Cardinals were only able to tack on one more run in the ninth. And I'm going to give you the highlights of this game real quick. Uh, In the bottom of the fifth, Miles Strauss singles on a ground ball to center fielder Lars Nootbaar. Now, Andre Gimmons the third, Mike Zunino scores, and it was and Mike Zunino to second, and then it was zip because they got Stephen Kwan singles on a ground ball to left fielder Alec Burleson. Andres Ginema scores. Mike Zunino to third. Miles Strauss second. It was 1-0 Guardians. In the seventh, Nolan Grossman pops out to third baseman Jose Ramirez in foul territory. And that got third. That was but they did score 2 runs. It was 4-2 to and they had scored 1 in the first, I believe. No, they scored 4 in the fifth. There was 4 in the fifth. They scored. It was 4-0 in the fifth inning, and they tacked down 1, and and that was all they pretty much needed. And then Paul DeJong grounds out into a double play. Third baseman Jose Ramirez, to second baseman Andres Ginemas, first baseman Josh Naylor, Brendan Donovan out at second, Paul DeJong out at first, and it was still 4-2. In the ninth, Lars Nootbaar doubles on a sharp fly ball to left fielder Stephen Kwan. Tommy Edman scores, was 4-3. And then Paul Goldschmidt strikes out, and there were 2 outs. It was still 4-3. And then Nolan Gorman called out on strikes. It was 4-3, and that was the final. Beaver goes to 4-3. Labarta with the loss, falls to 1-1. And Emmanuel Clase gets his 17th save of the season. He gets it. And the Guardians series continues with the Cardinals tomorrow at 7:15 on Bally Sports Ohio. And it will be I'm trying to get it to come up on my phone here. Just hold on a minute. But I'm gonna get the here we go. It will be Tanner Beebe on the hill for the Tribe. But they're working on 1-1, try to get his second win, and Jack Flattery for the Cardinals with a record of 3-4, and he'll try to get his 4th win. And as I said, it's at 7:15 on Bally Sports Ohio. We will have it. I'm going to do a tribute to Jim Brown in just a moment. But right now, it is time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. And it's a Major League Baseball trivia question, as I said. Who is the only Hall of Fame pitcher to defeat all 30 current MLB clubs? If you said the big unit, Randy Johnson, you are correct. And Randy Johnson is the only pitcher to defeat all 30 current MLB clubs who are also teams. So I'll have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. Right now, as you know, Jim Brown, one of the greatest professional and college football players of all time, passed away last Thursday night in his home in Los Angeles at the age of 87. His wife, Monique, announced Brown's death in an Instagram post on Friday afternoon. She said Brown passed peacefully Thursday night in their home in Los Angeles. To the world, he was an activist, actor, and football star. The post stated, to our family, he was a loving, wonderful husband, father, and grandfather. Our hearts are broken. In 2020, Jim Brown was selected to the NFL 100 all-time team and also was ranked as the number 1 all-time player on the college football top 150 list, to celebrate those sports anniversaries. He was named the greatest football player ever by the Sporting News in 2002. Brown was selected In the first round of the 1957 NFL draft, he played 9 seasons with the for the Cleveland Browns from 1957 to 1965 and led the league in rushing 8 of those years. He rushed for 12,312 yards and averaged 5.2 yards per carry over his career. He was also named a Pro Bowler every year he played. He led the Browns to the league championship game 3 times, winning the title in 1964, and was named MVP 3 times. He ran for at least 100 yards in 58 of his 118 regular season games, never missing a game. He rushed for more than 1,000 yards in 7 seasons, including 1,527 yards in one 12-game season, and 1,863 yards in a 14-game season. Brown also worked to empower the black community during the Civil Rights Movement. In June 1967, Brown organized the Cleveland Summit, a meeting of the nation's top black athletes. Bill Russell, Lou Alcindor, who would later become Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, to support boxer Muhammad Ali's fight against serving in Vietnam. In later years, Brown worked to curb violence in Los Angeles in 1988. In 1988, founded Amer I Can, a program to help disadvantaged inner-city youth and ex-convicts. Brown also advocated for modern athletes to be more involved in the black community. In a statement, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell called Brown a gifted athlete who became a forerunner and role model for athletes being involved in social initiatives outside their sports. It is impossible to describe the profound love and gratitude we feel for having the opportunity to be a small piece of Jim Brown's incredible life and legacy. Brown said in a statement, "We mourn his passing, but celebrate his incredible light he brought to the world. Our hearts are with Jim's family and loved ones and all those he impacted along the way." Brown retired at 30 at the top of his career when he was still in his prime. He was filming the movie The Dirty Dozen during the off-season in 1966, and production went long because of bad weather. Brown's owner, Art Modell, being Art Modell that he was, threatened to suspend Brown's pay if he didn't report to training camp on time. Brown opted to retire, saying he wanted to focus on his movie career and social issues. Since his retirement, no Browns player has worn number 32, and a statue of him went up outside First Energy Stadium, which, as we know, now has gone back to being Cleveland Browns Stadium. It's a great moment, Brown said, when the statue was unveiled, because I feel it throughout my body, particularly in my heart and mind. Current Browns owners Jimmy and Dee Haslam call Brown a true icon for the NFL. He was certainly the greatest to ever put on a Browns uniform, and arguably one of the greatest players in NFL history. A statement released Friday read, Jim Brown was one of the reasons the Browns have such a tremendous fan base today. So many people grew up watching him just dominate every time he stepped out onto the football field. But his countless escalades on the field only tell a small part of the story. Brown lettered in football in four sports: football, lacrosse, basketball, and track during his college career at Syracuse, and his he's also considered one of the greatest lacrosse players of all time, once scoring 5 goals in one half of a collegiate all-star game. At Syracuse, Brown also served as the place kicker during one game against uh, Collegiate in 19 against Colgate, in 1956, scoring an NCAA single game record with 43 points on 6 touchdowns and seven extra points. That same season, he led the nation in rushing touchdowns. In 1955, he led the nation in kickoff return average. Overall, he rushed for 2,091 yards and scored 26 touchdowns for the Orange. When Jim Brown's name was announced in a room, other Hall of Famers stood and applauded him. Pro Football Hall of Fame president Jim Porter uh, said in a statement, his persona has stood the test of time. A fearless and dominant football player, Jim will always be remembered as one of pro football's greatest individuals. Brown was and he was involved in a lot of incidents, but I don't want to mention that. And of all time, and he really contributed in a big way to the NFL, and he gave back to his community, and even gave back uh, to his friends and to people in Los Angeles. And Jim Brown, and he indeed was one of the greatest players to ever play college football and NFL football and play with the Cleveland Browns. And he was an icon for the NFL. And Jim Brown will truly be missed. And he was 87 years old. And I know I'm getting off track because I wanted to mention something in the entertainment world because I always love music. The legend of rock and roll, Tina Turner, passed away at the age of 83 on Wednesday. And in 1956, she met Ike Turner and later married him. And it was called the Ike and Tina Turner Review that had such many hits, one being Proud Mary, and so many other hits. And she's also remembered for a smash hit in the 80s, What's Love Got to Do With It? And Ike Turner, she divorced Ike Turner in 1978. Ike abused her, and she had moved to Switzerland. But Tina Turner will definitely be missed, and she was 83 years old. Well, that is just about going to wrap it up for this edition of Scott Sports 101. I'll be back with another podcast this weekend or sometime next week. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Enjoy it. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.